Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, but you can call me Driggles. And today we are going to be continuing the space exploration playthrough. I have literally not moved a single pixel since yesterday. Why is that not coming through? Why is that not showing anything? My screen is not working properly. Still refresh. There we go. Wonder why that wasn't updating properly. How very bizarre. Right, let's refresh that one as well then. Make sure the sound is on. Yeah, all seems to be good now. Don't know, it just showing a black screen to me for some reason. Good old internet, say. Good old internet. Yes, I've literally not moved a pixel. As predicted, I didn't play any of this. Didn't play anything actually. Continue watching the Fallout. Well, I went for a walk and then continue watching the Fallout TV series, which is really good. I shouldn't be surprised, I guess. I mean, you shouldn't expect these things to be terrible, but yeah, it's pretty good. Not quite finished yet, but yeah, I am enjoying it. So, what we basically need to do is finish off this cargo rocket and cargo, whatever it's called, pod and section and whatever the proper terminology is. First off, we then need to work out how we're going to get fuel in. We then need to set up the actual cargo rocket system, basically, which, for the goal, as it were, what we'll try and do is for this one, basically. It wasn't the... No, it wasn't, was it? We do appear to have had a train do a go. Has it got enough in the train limit? 0, so it's actually unloaded. Yeah, loads of panels and accumulators. Cool. So, oh, hello, Bacon Edition. What a crazy Friday facts yesterday. It was Friday for me, so it's 2 days ago for me. Guess it depends on your time zone. Really hit all the right notes. Yes, indeed. Nice pun. Hope you're doing well. I saw your comments just before I came on live. I'll respond to them afterwards. But yes, I kind of agree with you. I hope the soundtracks aren't, as big and bombastic as some of those tracks were, because that could get a bit wearying. I was trying to express that in the, my video, that basically I'm a little worried that, it's sort of the flip side of what I was saying about it's awesome that they can now afford a proper soundtrack, as it were, like, with an orchestra and all that sort of stuff. It's really, really great. But there's a tendency then to go, right, well, we'll do a big score, really, huge score and really impressive music and all that sort of stuff. And that's not really why I like the Factorio soundtrack. Right, so where do we get to? I didn't even restock, did I? Do I even know where my tank is? Of course I don't. Over there, okay. So, there might be some stuff in the tank, but it's probably better just to go back, because then I can request up more rail. Let's put my legs on. Oh, what are you lot doing? Satellite discovered Capellas. There's loads of planets. I had no idea it was this extensive. I do remember, I mean, when you start this mod up, it doesn't do it always, I don't think, but it does sort of, promote Erendor's Patreon to pay for the development. But how do I get to... Oh, Star Maps that way, isn't it? So I'm assuming all of these have planets around, because it says that, you can basically, if you're a patron, you can design a planet or a moon or what have you, and he'll stick it in the game, essentially, and name it after you. So I'm assuming that's what all of these are. I'm just noticing now, some of them don't have names, do they? So is this literally all of the stars that it's going to reveal, and it's effectively just giving them names? Because obviously they don't have, any planets on them, which might be the other probe that I was going on about yesterday. So Right, so what have we actually got in here? Is it worth just grabbing? Oh, we've got lots of belt and lots of rail. Okay. So let's see what else we can build with what we've got for the time being then. I think I'm going to stick with this more spread out rail, but really I should sort of squish it all in. But you know, let's just go with what we got. I'm actually thinking about it. Disconnect it so that we don't get any trains deciding, right, I'm going there. So if I just put in a little break here, and hopefully I'll stop any trains coming. Right. All built in. I really hope we are getting some buffs to bots, because it seems a bit weird that we basically only have improvements to trains. There's obviously the pathfinding thing, and I guess that must make a huge difference. You would expect so, but not pathing, the allocation system. But yeah, a total lack of any kind of hint of level 2 bots or supercharger stations, or I mean, we saw Fulgora in that music video, and there wasn't a V had put in 10,000 roboports rather than there being any kind of supercharging stations. So I don't know. Okay, let's see here. Wondering if Bot 2.0 are on Fulgora. That'd be the planet for it, I think. What with its electromagnetic theme. Yes, I mean, I say, but if that's the case, I mean, I think V did say that, or implied that that planet, that base had been built like quite a long time ago. So maybe it's, got older tech on it. But as I say, you'd have thought, they'd drop that in as a hint as well, even if they don't ever explain anything until it's launched. A little bit of a kind of hint that there is going to be a super roboport or something. Wouldn't have gone amiss, I don't think. But yeah, it could be, as I say, that it's just an old base that didn't have that in. As I say, he did say that on Discord that was kind of why he had 1 million roboports, because it was reworked to the allocation system, so it's a bit unnecessary, that sort of thing. Right, so I can't actually remember what I was hooking up to these. I think I'd kind of done all of the thick bits, and I was working on the... So these, you see, need pipes and pumps, so I need to put a building for that. But you got iron plate, and I think that's what was going to be on there. Oh, I didn't put any stations in, did I? Because what else am I missing? Green circuits, iron plate, and copper plate. So I guess since iron plate is this one here, let's see if we can't add that one on here. Like so. And then, well, I'll have to see which is bad to put in first. And yeah, we've had like 7 train quality of life Friday facts and 1 robot. Trains seem to be people's favourite logistic system, and they're quite complex, so quality of life for trains makes sense, yeah. See, another one discovered. Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining about the quality of life improvements for trains. It's all looking like great stuff, but it just feels like they're sort of rendering bot builds, less and less like a top tier strategy, and there's going to be so many improvements for bots that it's like, well, not for bots, for trains. It's like, well, that's that's what we're all going to do, isn't it, then? Right, so the next question then is how do I order these? Because I've obviously got a combined iron and steel there. And I believe, yes, that uses steel plate. But it also uses pipe, as well as the small electric motor. So this uses pipe. So what we could do, because I seem to remember I worked it all out, didn't I? It's just one pump machine will be fine. So we need one pipe machine. And we could probably feed that past here. So if we perhaps put that there, then this one, because I'm not going to, you know, I'll never beacon these. I'll just add more machines on if I need to. I don't know why I copied that. So that's pipe. Actually, that makes more sense to do a direct insert, I guess, then. Yeah, so if that's a direct insert there, then the excess can go on a belt there, which I then transfer over to the other side, perhaps. Like that. And then you output like that. You get green circuits. Steel from there. In fact, actually, that should probably be faster, maybe. Now, you just need electric motors, don't you? I might switch those round, actually. I just realised why people like trains over bots. Trains you have to program and lay out rails to path them, so you're building a personal investment and sense of ownership. Bots, you just lay down some chests and ports and then there you go. Yeah. They are staggeringly simple when you think about it. They're also, I always often used to point out, I don't so much now because it's, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, play the game the way you want to. But they're kind of cheaty in a way. They're not really, if that makes sense. So they're not really, how do you put it? They're like instantaneous teleporters, basically. Actually, I could flip that over. You know, they're not quite instantaneous, but it's basically just I put something in a chest in one location, and it appears magically on the other location. You know, you don't have to do kind of any thinking with them at all, which isn't a problem. As I'm not saying that as a bad thing as such. It's just, as you say, that tends to be how they end up, essentially. I might actually, thinking about it, if we move this up, and I would just put one in. More for safety than anything else, I think. Put that there. So that we've always got, you know, some pipe there. Is that going to work? Isn't going to work because it also needs the motors. Now, did one of these also need a motor? I'll probably do a separate build. It makes more sense, doesn't it? But don't yellows need... Yeah, they need a motor as well. So maybe we can work that round, but I'm not too fussed. If that's a separate thing, it might actually be useful to put it somewhere else anyway. So if this is doing the simple motor things, then it also needs cogs and iron plates. So if we put, say, cogs there, oops, like that, and they can grab them there, that gets the iron plate. You feed across there. In fact, I probably could get away with not having that. Do that instead. This does copper cables. Now, didn't I establish before that actually... Right, so yeah. That would require 0.75 motors per second. And that would require... That produces 1. So it doesn't actually hit the rate, but we don't need that to be... So we only need 0.75. And it produces 0.93, so it's slightly too fast by about a fifth. So we could chop a fifth off what that actually needs, 5.625. But that's still not enough, so it still wouldn't run at the required rate, basically. So, how about we also put another one in there. And we'll run copper up somewhere here. Because what I'm thinking is I might be able to put... Would that make sense? Maybe I just put it on a belt and then I could put a row of them. If we do a second. Not like that. That could be there. That could be there. So then I can extend that. That can just feed in there. So we might be able to put the other one on the other side somehow. Cool. They remove logistical complexity, yeah. I mean, they do add other challenges because, particularly, you know, if your entire base is covered by a single Roboport network, which is kind of what, ironically, Nilaus does with his, you know, his city blocks thing. But then he puts everything on trains and sends it round by trains because if you're literally, you know, if you've done a build that requires iron plate over here and all of your, you know, smelting is in various different places, then especially with the dumb system, it'll assign those bits of iron plate, you know, from here. So even if you, what you can do, so even if you build a, you know, a smelting next to it, and do it all via bot, there's a very good chance the game will sort of assign bots over here to bring it, and so it'll be flying halfway across the map. There's also travel time, as I say. They are sort of instantaneous, but they're not. And so, you know, even if you put, you know, a request for a very... Well, you sometimes have to compensate with a very large request because simply there's a transit time for the stuff to get over there. So it's things like that that do make them have their own challenges. But yeah, they are, you know, notionally... you know, of course, conceptually a lot simpler. You know, and I mean, when I do a bot build, as it were, or some kind of bot wall, and imagine I've got requesters, you know, I just build this, essentially. And that's it. That's my entire build then, which is super, super simple. But you're saying there is a lot of, you know, that's a good thing in many ways. Right, so this belt is the other thing that this needs, I believe. Which is a little weird, because I've done it backwards then. But there you go. So, if we say that, perhaps this is the one we need to do to bring those things in. So this needs to be where our like chest build is. And then we can put this one on this side. And this is already double belted. No, mixed belt, sorry. So that can go there, that can go across there, that there, there. Okay, dokey. So we do need to hook copper in here. So we better not forget that. So I guess copper would be coming this way. I didn't actually assign copper, so that's iron plate then. And this one would be the copper. I suspect I'll actually probably double, you know, make this a mixed belt. Actually, I've already got a copper unload, haven't I? Loads of them. I thought so. I put that as load, not unload. I wondered why there were so few of them. So this then must be the green circuits. Unload. Good. So yeah, we're going to need like 1 million trains. Bots being able to queue and help have multiple orders will help greatly. Yeah, I say that's the sort of bonus. You know, the benefit that it's getting from that. I mean, it's not really a quality. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a quality of life improvement. It is a proper sort of gameplay improvement. But yeah, it is going to give them way more. A way bigger improvement than just simply, oh well, now they path a bit better. It is quite a big improvement to how they'll work. Also, I mean, I say I don't think I've ever really taken bots, because bot speed's the one for Infinite Science where it just, the exponential curve ramps up in such a way that it's like, is that the copper? Yeah, that's the copper. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, no, that is the copper. Cool. So we need the green circuits as well. But yeah, it ramps up in such a way that it's like, yeah. Oh, it's they're all exponential, I think, but the gradient of the exponential basically is like absolutely bonkers. So I usually do a few, and then it's like, well, I could get 30 mining prods for 1 bot speed, so I'll do the mining prods. By that time, I've probably kind of exhausted my interest in continuing, because I'm a bit of a start a new game type player. Right, so theory somewhere there. I'm not lining these up yet. We'll have to work out where the best place for them is. They will also consider arriving bots when looking for a charging spot. This looked like it helped a lot too, yeah. I think V said that the massive Roboport field, because all of those rockets were bot fed. I still don't quite understand why the entire base was in a sort of a torpor state where it was just like stopped. Like almost the entire thing. There was that tiny area that was doing stuff, but it didn't look like the power was disconnected. Maybe you can disable the alerts and it was all disconnected in some way. But it didn't really look like it was disconnected. And there were belts that were, like an underground. I think it was where it had that sorting array. You could see like stuff on that side of the belt. And then it was just an underground and nothing was passing through. My guess is that it was before the before the stacking. So the code for the undergrounds was maybe not in or something like that. But as an explanation, that doesn't make a lot of sense in and of itself. Now, what am I trying to build? So we've got that stuff for there. I know we need the inserters, and they're fast inserters, aren't they? Yeah, so we'll see if we can get that aligned with this build here, so that we can just have kind of the same thing on the other side. I built something incredibly similar when I was doing the things before. So if this is more of those, which one is it that takes those? Let's see if we're in the right menu. It's that one. And then you just need... Okay. You need burner inserters as well. You cheeky little scamp. Okay. So if we direct insert into blue there, then we're going to need a belt that has iron plate and possibly green circuits on it. But you need burner inserters, don't you? Gears. Okay. So if I extended this a bit, and then have this grow from there as well. Maybe put that there so that it can get some. Are they not going to fill... 0.8 transport? Yeah, so that's more than half a belt. Okay, that doesn't quite work then, does it? Let's... That's what... We put that... Right. So that gets us those on there. So that would get us those two. So then we could put the gear machine. Maybe there. And if that was the... I just think it's probably better the other way around, actually. So if that's there, then the gear machine is here. This is the burner inserters. What else do you need? Oh, you need rods as well. That's really inconvenient of you, don't you, then? Okay, we're going to need rods somewhere as well, then. So that's a feed there. That gets you then there. But you need... Oh, you don't need... Oh, no, you need single engine... Oh. Okay, so... I've just undone the good bit. I usually get to like bot speed 12 and call it good. Yeah, as I say, it gets to a point where it's like so ridiculously... It's good as a one where you like keep it going, you know, just test your continuous production. But as an actual practical like thing to research, it's pretty rubbish. So yeah, we're gonna have to put in engines in, but basically the answer is to that particular problem is what I was doing before, which is that's there. You get some gears from that. I probably need to rearrange that a little bit so that we know there's at least some going on the copper belt. If iron plate is on, we need iron plate on this belt. Not least because we need to make those. You don't need iron plate, do you? No, you don't. Wait. I didn't undo that properly, did I? The redo feature is going to be one I'm going to be quite keen to get. In case we don't need to bother with that. So maybe that is gears. Because I think... Doesn't the engine... Because you need gears, don't you? The single cylinder... Yeah, that is gears and iron plate. So if that was... Since it's added... Its additive percentage bonus is diminishing returns for the bot speed anyway. Oh, okay. I didn't actually realise that. I always thought it was a linear thing. I thought it added, you know, like 1 metre per second or something. As I say, I've never really gone particularly far into it. I'm glad they're doing other infinite research types. Just having more mining, more bot speed and more damage all have diminishing returns. The infinite research productivity gives us more to chew on. Yes, it does, yeah. Although, I was thinking on that the other day that it certainly gives you a lot more things to you know, build and interesting things like that. But I was thinking the other day that these new, you know, the new machines all seem to be, I don't know, because of the space platform thing, I don't know if they would just, you know, they just built that so that to show off, because the foundry's in space. It's like that seems like a staggeringly inefficient thing to do. Yeah, because they're meant to be hugely power hungry. So I say it seems like a bad idea. From that point of view. So I don't know if it's just done to show off, but you know, they've sort of gone. These machines have like a built-in 50% bonus, and they're big machines, so you can get lots of beacons on them. And you know, they have 4 module slots, is it? So the output productivity from a single machine is like insane. So you know, given Boskid had to was it Boskid? I can't remember. I had to completely rewrite the code in order to optimize it to be able to, you know, go do these insane productivities. You know, just from the foundry itself. Having productivity on, you know, well, they showed rocket control units, ironically, didn't they? But, you know, say it's on low density structures or something like that. If you've already got insane productivity that almost breaks the game just from the, you know, the foundry itself, and you know, beacons, etc., having extra productivity is almost redundant in a sense. You know, I was sort of saying that single machine that was making cogs could supply an entire megabase, basically. Yeah, a small megabase, but you know, it was so many cogs, and you know, I don't imagine this productivity bonus on cogs type of thing, or gear wheels. But it certainly gives you things more interesting things to put on your list of just infinite researches to tick off, I guess. Did you know that there's only one science? Did you know that there's only one tech that requires all 7 science packs? It's the bloody Follower Robot tech, or either one true stress test. Do you mean the? Oh yes, sorry, the currently in the game. You mean? I don't think is that confirmed for. Yes, you must mean currently. Yes, I did, because I tried to do that one. So when I did my Megabase attempt, I tried to use that one as the... Because what I wanted to do was a Megabase that had all of the science packs being produced at 5,000. This is the one I live streamed. And so I thought, oh, there's only... I discovered that there's only one tech that has all of the science packs, so I'll have to do that one. And then when I did it, it's a 30-second research time. So it's not actually, you know, if you're trying to do a continuous, you know, I built it for 5,000 science a minute sort of thing. Well, if it eats through, if it eats through twice as many science packs, it quickly becomes more than that. And so I was getting this effect where basically it was consuming 10,000 science packs a minute and then running out, and the whole base was just sort of, you know, collapsing basically, because it wasn't able then to provide anything. So the sort of average, so where I was trying to go for that continuous burn rate to sort of prove it was a mega base, instead I was getting a step function basically, and then just a wiggly load of nonsense. So yeah, I am horribly familiar with the whatchamacallit, robot follower count. I'm sure in the new one there's going to be, you know, plenty that use. I'm just wondering, is this really quite what I want? Because are those one? I mean, these are 1-to-1, aren't they? Yeah. And then, so that produces not transport belts. Items a second, 1.5. And this must be 1.5. Well, yeah, so they'll run at the same speed. But how many do I actually need for these guys? 0.4. And it's 1.5. So I only need it to run at a third. So I would only need half of one of those a second. And it's producing one. Well, ish. So I only need half a thing of cogs a second. And that's producing 1.5. So that should all be okay. So it's overproducing them, that's fine. In terms of this machine then, so again, I only need a third. So, what does that run at? 1.25. Yeah, sure, we should be okay with just one machine. But you need cogs, don't you? So you both need... So it's only half a machine off. So 0.75. Okay. I think I'm just going to play it slightly safe. And have a separate coggy boy there. Okay. So that needs extending as well. So what I actually need, I need that to be a combined... Well, that's a point. Because you need green circuits, don't you? No. Which one needs green circuits? That one. Okay, that's not too bad then. So... Because this needs to be another iron plate. Just like pure iron plate, I think. Oops. We might need 2 iron plate mates, is the sort of thing. So if we leave a little bit of kind of space there. So this then is green circuits. And all I really need to do is output on, you know, side load onto a belt here, basically. Of course, I've not got a power pole, have I? Oh no, it's just offset it rather than worry too much about the fanciness. I also noticed the undergrounds that were working, they seem to be facing the correct direction as well, so not sure. Yeah, my sort of guess is just simply that, you know, they've updated something and, you know, he hadn't bothered, you know, downloading the latest build, basically. So it was sort of, you know, broken, essentially, because of the code rather than any weirdness. Because it also didn't seem to have, you know, you could imagine some setup where, like, sushi belt sort of control thing that they've just introduced, but that didn't make any sense with how it looked either. So yeah, I don't know what was going on there at all. Okay, so let's hook... Should we hook that up? No, let's not. Because that's all of my belt, isn't it? Okay. So, what we then need to do is make these iron chests. No, yes, iron chests, aren't it? Yeah. And they're 8 iron plate. 8 plate. Which is why it's too far away. And so, all we do then... Because these are pumping out at half a second. So 1.5... And all it needs is a third of it? No, wrong one. Not even a third. Oh no, it does need 1. Sorry, looking at the wrong one. Because it needs twice as many of them. Okay, so maybe this has... Yeah, I think we're going to need 2 iron plate belts. And... something there. That was going to be green circuits, wasn't it? So we can move that up. Make our lives a tiny smidge easier. So that's the output. So perhaps we grab a bit from there. And let's move that down. From there, I've got that in place. Cool. So we now need 2 belts of iron plate. Oh wait, that's copper. That's a genius move, isn't it? It's not iron plate at all. Okay, let's go and switch all of that around then. So, if that's the iron plate there, then it's not that one that's coming that way. That one. And we'll have the copper come out here, I think. And needs to hop across. Connect to that. Yep. And then this can still be the... Oh, I don't need to bother with that one, do I? And that. Oops. Doodly-doodly-doo. So that needs to be the copper. That needs to be the green circuits. Did you know? Yes. The productivity recipes will start to mess up your ratios after a while. Yeah. Again, it just feels like a lot of the things are just like they seem to be. I think prepping the game to do huge amounts of volume with only a few machines, basically, because as with this, I think you probably need a bit of a beast of a machine to have a 10,000 sites a minute mega base on every single surface, because that's like a complicated way of representing that, basically. So actually that's not copper, is it? What we need is that to be iron plate, that one to be copper, and then the circuits up here somewhere. Okay. So I'm happy that, structurally that's there, as it were. What I will do is just put some radars around. Let's get you on, and then we'll head back to base, stock everything up, sort out all these. That's probably don't really need that one. So close. On here maybe, and then put one on the load as well, maybe. Oh, I've got some extra belts there, actually. I was messing about with the positioning. Yeah, because I use the Factorio. I can't remember what it's called. The Factorio Lab, is it calculator? I can't remember. Obviously, a lot of people use the Kurt McDonald one and that sort of thing. So those calculators are gonna get nuts. And I imagine there's, going to be some work for all the modders who do those sorts of, build your, I can't remember what it's called, Hell mod, is it? That does the whole base planning, or I don't tend to use them because I prefer just to use my own system for planning things out, but I certainly use calculators and all that sort of stuff, so things are going to get nuts. For all those modders who do those things. What am I looking for there? That's not right. The trains, there we go. So we don't really need 1 million. And that's load anyway, so unload. Should we do the higher throughput one maybe? Seems a bit of a waste, but whatever. But yes, it sounds like they're going to have a lot of fun, I think. Completely remaking all their mods. But then, they've kind of done that, like, full stop, haven't they? A lot of the things they're putting in as quality of life are popular mods, basically. So why have I bothered doing that? It doesn't really... Given we've got an entire train pumping it out, we should just do the most basic thing. Or even like that, maybe? And then just copy that then. Do that out. Oh, that was done. Why did I put them like that? There we go. And I guess really. Like that. Okay. And then I don't know. Let's just do. In fact, no. Let's make it. Train's worth of stuff. These all need upgrading. Cool. So let's copy and paste this one. Got it. No. If I include that, then I'll remember a bit better, I think. So this was low density structures. Let's not flip it, clip it. Well, that's wrong. What's gone wrong there? That's... Oh, I was going to combo them, wasn't I? Okay. So... Uh. 100% confession. I never really... It's because I never really played about with it and discovered calculators, but I could never really quite get my head around doing the maths for, you know, productivity bonus and stuff. What's going on here? Guess that's... Oh, of course, it's because it needs 5 things. Okay. Is it imbalanced in any way? I think it's even, isn't it? Yes, it doesn't really matter. Okay, that makes more sense. It was literally 24 hours ago and I've completely forgotten how I built this. That's what happens when you get old, you see. But at the very least you can make that excuse. Okay, so that's then. That's the weirder bits. What are you unloading then? Your red circuits. Okay, so you can... Not sure... The same sort of arrangement. We're out of fast inserters now. But why is that going on like that? So that's steel. But steel, although it's an entire belt there, it's not actually huge amounts of steel. Somebody's ringing my doorbell. Well, that was annoying. It wasn't for me. I live in a block of flats, and it's particularly when people get like, you know, like well, deliveries, but also, you know, like your Uber Eats and your Deliveroos and all this sort of stuff, where people get fast food delivered, and the delivery drivers just press every button basically. So they just press every, you know, if they go delivering to, I'm not going to say which flat I live in, but they're delivering to flat 1, then they'll press, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you know, just all of the buttons basically. And of course, if the person who it actually isn't there, you know, ready to do it, then because as soon as anyone picks up, it cancels the you know, the ringtone. You know, if they're not there, then I have to wander all the way down the other side of the flat to answer a phone and discover that, you know, it's some blooming Deliveroo for somebody who couldn't be asked to sit and wait, you know. The worst thing of it is because it can take... The problem is it's like multiple doors. So if you're letting someone in, you kind of have to let them in with the one buzz. And then it takes a couple of minutes for them to get to the next one. And so you have to just wait there. Because you can't go and do anything in between. So you then got to buzz them in again. Right, so... I forgot to put that on. This was iron? Yeah. Okay, so we need more output here because we've got 2 lanes to support. So let's go with, what, that one maybe? Let's do that. Okay. And then those need to be that for fast when we eventually get some more. And is that going to be enough output? Oops. Let's assume not. Okay. Okay. So what we then want to do is turn this into a water 2. Now the rest can be the normal one. Okay. Right, let's see how much belt and stuff we actually need. We are short by 400, 100, 25, and randomly one chest. I wonder where that's been missed off. Okay. Oh, I've also got some unpowered lights. Okay, I didn't put lights on the other thing, did I? Let's just leave that for now. Okay. So we also need 1,000,000 trains. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the output. Now, have I got one for the output? I've got 2 on me actually. I wonder if I've got any in the car as well. So this would be the packed sections. So it's, look at all of them. Glyphs. Marvellous. Unknown key, entity mark, dark bud, decal, ruin. Okay. What am I looking for? I'm looking for them. We'll put one on, but still need to go around and do some smart volume things. Now, I think they only stack to one thing, don't they? So effectively that's 5 per slot. So effectively they're 5 stack. So that'd be 50, 100, 150, 200. So that's 2 rockets per carriage. 2, 3. So it'd be 4 rockets that this could effectively build when full. That sounds like a reasonable sort of number to have kind of instantaneous demand for. So we will enable it to be to fill that. I don't need them, do I? It's not going to put them out that quickly. But this train does not have fuel. Now, I guess the question is, am I always going to be dropping it off somewhere I'm also dropping off solid fuel? It'd be cool if you could fill the trains with liquid fuel. You know, in a big old school, you know, like they used to do steam engines would have that a big sort of tank basically that they carry along with them, as well as the coal tender. Well, some would anyway. Obviously, the electric boiler might have enough in it. What was I going to do? I was going to add in fuel to this train. Well, that's a point actually. I wonder how we're getting on with the. I didn't. Of course, I didn't, because I didn't play. We should do this as well, because this desperately needs completing, really. Anyway. I've got more trains, haven't I? Have I got any trains in here? No. Cool. But we could put, for example, the rail back. Let's pop one on then. I think I'm actually going to start with... let's do something like iron plate or something. Because it's the higher volume one and a more complex you know, arrangement of stuff. Steel. So if we do this one. Go. Odd it's saying destination full when it's actually that it can't get to where it's going to. Never mind. Okay, I'm not actually going to connect it. We'll do that later. Or am I? Yeah, go on. Let's connect it and see kind of what happens. I picked up one bit of rail. Could put them blue inserters. You're not going anywhere. Why are you not going anywhere? Maybe it's the lack of signals that's knackering it up. But where are you actually trying to get to? Yeah, I think lack of signals is not helping at all. Yeah. That's weird that you can do a U-turn. Well, how can you do a U-turn? Oh, of course, because of this thing here. Let's assume it's the signals, but that's a little worrying. Okay. So what we got left then? So if this works, we know we've got the bits for making rockets. We can leave it running then, and we can think about how we're going to do the actual liquid rocket fuel. I'm kind of assuming that I'll have a liquid rocket fuel build, basically. Where am I going? That'd be quite expensive. I always drove straight through those chests then. I said, my driving in this game, this playthrough has been shocking. Pay proper attention. Right. Any trains now? Let's see. Hop out. So, I needed loads of trains tonight. How many loads then? We've got one on. Oh, it's gone. Ah, it must have just been that this was full. So it was literally destination full. Okay. Okay. But yes, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. Oh! That gave me a start. It was a bot dying then. Train. How much rail am I at? 400 on board. Okay. It's in there. How many trains we have? So how many am I actually going to need? I need to do 7, so I would have 14 locos, tractor units, and 28 carriages. Okay. So that would then be 5, 10. Okay. I'm not sure I'll have that many because I don't think those chests are. Well, I don't think there's enough being produced essentially. Yeah, so we've got 3 others in storage. What about then? Yeah, we'll have to do several trips for that. Several trips for trains. Several train trips. Well, what's that? So if I go with... So it's 8, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8 is 4 trains, isn't it? I'll have to see. What are we missing? More locos, obviously. I think we might, if I put that on 16. I'll kind of get whatever we've got. So 8 with 4, 5, 6. Let's put it on 6. We might end up with all of them. Oh, another one died. Dying all over the shop here. How are we doing? More bits needed. Saying yesterday, I started planning out my holiday. It's a very weird thing to do, but then I'm a very weird person, where I end up having to organise myself, you know, to do fun, basically. because well, I actually posted about this on Reddit, but I sort of wondered how many people were Spectrum on, at the Play Factorio, because it feels like it's crack for people with all these types of, situations of ADHD and all that sort of stuff, autism and all that sort of family of situations. So it's like, say, if I don't set myself up to basically say, right, well, this is a day when I'm going to go out and do all these chores and rigidly stick to it, then I'll just end up playing Factorio all the time. Oh dear. But yeah, so I'm trying to work out what I'm doing, and one of the things is I want to get a new desk as part of my whole streaming upgrade. And I was trying to work out what would fit and where to put it and all that sort of stuff. And I've come up against the problem I often come up against, is that I've got too many computers. Generally when I upgrade, I don't get rid of the old one. I don't use the old one. It literally sits there gathering dust, but it's there because there might be some file that I forgot to back up or copy. And in particular, the most recent one, no, one before last, I had to keep it because there was a peripheral that I wasn't really willing to give up. It's a scanner, A3 scanner. And I think the company had gone bust actually, and they didn't do drivers for Windows 10. So basically, I had to keep a machine that had that old operating system up, Windows 7. It's obviously not connected to the internet or anything, but it still means that I can't, Oh, let's put the signals in actually. I couldn't get rid of it, but then I've got rid of the peripheral. Yeah, because well, I should say I didn't really need it at all. But never got rid of the machine, so it's just sat there like some big lump in the way. And yeah, so I was looking at this desk, and I was like, well, I'm going to have to fit all of these underneath the desk. Wait, why have I got all these computers? What am I doing with them? Nothing. Oh, right, okay. So then I get an extra job to... Because obviously I'll take the hard drives out, but then, take them down the tip and all this sort of stuff. It's like, I say, that's why I have to kind of list it all out and organise myself, because otherwise, because a lot of it's so boring and tedious, I don't do it. That's why I thought I'd be good at project management, and I kind of am, in a way. Because that was the job that killed me, basically nearly killed me, and that I've moved away from. And the problem isn't the organising and coming up with plans and all that sort of stuff. I really enjoy that. I enjoyed doing it, as I suspected I would. The problem is other people, because they don't do what they're meant to do, basically. And I'm rubbish at kind of getting them to do what they want to do. What I need them to do. Because they never see it as priority task, you see. So... Cool. Got one train on the go. So let's let that feed up and see if it makes the right things. Actually, was I gonna swap them out? Build this in, I think, as we go. Cool. I'm just going to sort of put the trains in as I kind of, you know, get to the bits to make the next step, basically. So, first off, this is making chesticles. It's not getting enough plates, though. Okay, so... well, part of that is because it's not getting the throughput, is it? So if I do an output priority left... is it getting it now? No, it isn't. So we'll put that back in. Give it a... oh, we've used up all the fast inserts. Okay. So how could that possibly be, given it said we needed 98? Where did I park the tank up then? And I collected 100. Let's grab that. I'm going to grab the trains. Just because. What have we got? We got... yeah, okay. Boop. Still not really doing it at the required rate, is it? There we go. I mean, I don't need it to run at that speed, I guess, but... why are you all stopped? Green circuits, okay, so... have you made what you would be expected to make? In the circumstances where... yeah, so we got all the... so we would need copper to get this to make further, but we do have pipe. And it's absolutely steaming with pipe. Okay. That's working, you've got that thing. So, let's turn on... what, copper next, I think? Or try to, anyway. Assuming no train problems. Where is copper? That's not copper. That's copper. Cool. Helps if you don't put it the other way around. I'm going to make the gigantic assumption that all of the iron, copper, steel, green circuits is a bad assumption. No. That all of these, iron, copper, steel, etc., have fueling, basically. Cool. And so, oops. That one mother, and load, full, empty, auto. Cool. Okay, so I'll also add in the green circuits because, as I say, I know that that's got fueling on it, so I don't have to do any messing about. Hello, Asky Raven. How you doing? You've got a great line in emotes. I wish I had emotes. I mean, that usually spurs on a load of people, you know, offering to sell remote emote artwork making and stuff, but I don't know. Full, empty. But yes, I hope you're doing well. Should I set it going or wait for the copper and see how that does? And this is an entire train dropping off green circuits to make inserters. That's just bonkers. It's why one of the reasons the 111 trains are starting to appeal to me, because I say it's an insane amount of circuits to bring in order to literally just make Yeah, literally just make fast inserters, because it's not even going into yellow inserters. Let's send it on its way. But I will check that this is going where I think it's going. So we've got hopefully a copper train coming back at some point, maybe. You know, just because. There's one set at load. Is it loading for here? It's certainly not. Got anything to load? All needs a lot of upgrading and stuff. Oh good, I guess. Besides the fact I will have to go to job in a few hours. But other than that, I can't remember if you told me what time zone you're in. But yeah, I assume that's a Sunday job, is it? It would have to be, wouldn't it? You'd have to be on a different planet to not be Sunday, I think now, because it's. I guess maybe if you're in Australia, it could be 3 a.m. in the morning or something, but, or 4 a.m. in the morning. I think yes, these emotes are awesome. I stole them, by the way. Where did you steal them from? Are they not ones you get sort of free from, oh, you know, with a subscription or something like that? I was trying to check that I hooked something up properly, hadn't I? Oh, green circuits. So, yes, that's green circuits as expected. Okay, and the copper wire is basically just being used to make these guys. Yes, okay. So, in the assumption that at some point, some copper train might decide to come this way, maybe. So it needs like stack inserters and red belts and all sorts. I've been very, very lax. So I was using them, and when I saw them, I was like, oink, mine now. I even changed my colour to mess with one streamer now. He's confused whether both of us are talking because some colour and same emotes. Appropriate type of animal then, isn't it? Of sort of a cheeky fox then, or a mischievous fox. And I bet that's going to take a small ice age, isn't it, to load them up. And as I say, they're literally coming here in order to, you know, we'll probably get a second train like before the heat death of the universe having to turn up. Because it's just an insane number of circuits I'm bringing. I mean, 16,000 green circuits, and it's only half full. So I can't remember what train holds. Is it 48,000 or something? No, 32,000. So in other words, 32,000 fast inserters. No, half of that. 16,000 because it's 2 each. So that would then let me make 4,000. Because it's 4, is it? No. 8,000 fast inserters to fill cargo pods. And they are 100, so it's 80 rockets worth. Which is plenty, I think. And I'm sure I'll get through more than 80 rockets in this playthrough, but yeah, given it's taken me days and days and days to even get to the rocket stage, I don't think we'll have throughput issues. Okay, so copper's coming in. Finally. Should we go and put the train on for steel? See what happens there. Exactly, and the other person is a mischief herself. So that doesn't help that streamer at all. Poor streamer. You have to be You've got to be sympathetic to us. It's hard doing this, you know. Right. Now, the question is it definitely fueling at the steel? I can't see why it wouldn't be. Because, yes, there we go. Okay. I need to get rid of all that fuel thing, because if I'm going to do these... like the what do you call it? Unified fueling stop. Okay. This is steel. I think. Yes. Get a bit confused with them now. Low, full, and empty. Cool. I'm not going to set this one going before I check it's hooked up properly. Ah, are you coming here? Yes, you are. Excellent. So that's green circuits coming in. Now, so I'm definitely going to make sure this is hooked up properly, because I've got quite a lot of stations doing steel. So half your load is going that way for that one. I think it might be prudent then. Oh no, you need steel as well, don't you? So it's not gonna... I was saying I was going to limit the belt, but it needs to get all the way up there anyway. And then this one is coming on here, is the steel for these guys. The question then, which I didn't answer, so it's less than 1/10 of a belt steel there, and 1/10 of a belt, so 1/4 of a belt in total. Okay. No, he's fine with it. Oh no, I was just messing around. Green circuits arrived, so we can check that that's definitely going in the right place. But you can be switched on. So that's still coming in there. So then this is red circuits, isn't it? There's no train limit on that. That's bad. No train limit on that one either. That's also bad. Got all the others though. Just these two. Okay. Train. Now, red circuits. Do you have fuel where you might be loading up? I think you do. Yes, because I stole some for the glass and that, didn't I? Yes, okay. So we are okay to send you off on your way. Right. But let's make sure that load. That this is properly hooked up to the thing it needs to be hooked up to, because these are staggeringly expensive, even in this mod. So you would be going in there, and you do need advanced circuits, and then in there, and you do need them as well. Total demand is less than 1/10 of the belt. Okay, we are good then. Did you see how expensive foundries are? My friend was like, are they? I don't think I did. Oh yes, no, it was on the... Was that the Factoriopedia where it had that? I don't think it showed the full recipe, did it? But yeah, they were like... Was it... It was hundreds of bits of steel and stuff, wasn't it? I do have a wonder, because foundries can make foundries, can't they? I think. So, is the productivity bonus that they get universal? So in other words, if you have a foundry, making foundries, and because I know it can also take productivity bonuses in things that don't normally allow productivity bonuses, as in modules. So can you put prod modules in foundries that are making foundries, and it's built in 50%, so that effectively, you know, one craft of a foundry gives you, I don't know, 3 foundries or something? Because, yeah, they were ridiculously expensive. The other thing, and I keep saying this, people don't believe me, but I think you can only build them on Volcanus. You know, not that... I mean, obviously you unlock the recipe on Volcanus and with the Volcanus tech, but I think you also can only literally physically build them on Volcanus. So if you want foundries on a space platform, or you want them on Volgora, you've got to stick them on a rocket, put them in a, you know, space platform, send them, you know, drive them basically to that other planet. So they are massively expensive, which again I think is why they've got such a big bonus. Anyway, just so you know, thank you for your Friday Facts YouTube videos. By now I usually just run past the blog, don't read much, and wait for your videos since I'm curious about what other people think, and I'm lazy to read. That's no worries. I really love doing them. And the experience of my channel is basically, you know, I've been doing YouTube and Twitch and stuff for years, so I'm kind of very much used to nobody watching the videos, and they're sufficiently fun that I do them. That's not meant. It sounds to feel like I'm attacking people or whatever, but you know, they're just incredibly fun to do. So even if nobody watched, I would not do them. But it's really great that people, you know, watch the videos and, you know, comment if they want to comment, and you know, say nice things when they do, sort of thing. So I'm just delighted that people enjoy them. But as I say, even if they didn't, I'd probably still be doing the videos. So yeah. But thank you very much for the compliment. That's very much appreciated. And I do enjoy kind of reading people's comments in particular. So, but you know, people just want to watch the videos. That's great as well. 50 steel, 50 GC. Oh, green circuits at least. Yeah. Yeah, and then they are hugely expensive. Productivity is bound to intermediate products only, so I doubt it will apply prod bonus onto the foundry. The foundry itself has the bonus though. That's the sticking point. And yeah, it seems like you can only build foundries and green belts on Volcanus. Not a huge fan of that, but oh well. Yes, I think it will get disabled once you choose a recipe, but it's not applicable to. Yeah, as I say, it's sort of... we'll have to see how it all works, basically, is the only kind of answer to it. What's the hold up here? Apart from a staggering amount of time it's going to take to load. Oh, this has got stack inserters on it. That's novel. Yes, so I mean, I get, yeah, it's going to be really annoying setting up. I guess the difference is the the rockets in Factorio aren't going to have. Well, they have weirdly they have the opposite restriction, don't they? In the sense of or opposite effect in that these cargo rockets are just insane chests, basically. With, you know, this is already holding. What's that? 20, 40, 60, nearly 80, nearly 90,000 science packs. 90,000 science packs in one rocket. So these have the filling up problem of just, you know, making enough stuff to make sending a rocket sensible is a massive production challenge type of thing. And logistical sort of complexity. But in Factorio, as that Fulgora, you know, video showed this week, we're going to have more of a problem of a rocket only holds, is it 1,000 metric tons or something, or a ton or something, which only equates to like, what was it, 10 stacks of circuits or something. So we're going to have the opposite problem, that we're going to have to send, you know, to fill up a sensible space platform with, you know, belts and all the gubbins that you want to, is going to take, you know, a ridiculous rocket production scale. So, you know, if you do, when you're doing your third planet, and you're like, right, well, I'm going to have to take 5,000 belts with me, and the green belts with me, and, you know, all these sorts of things. Building all that so that it's worth doing is going to be quite the interesting challenge, I think. The new set was light, but did not find anything new. There may be more to find around on other stars. Still received the satellite telemetry. Okay. Hope it's not going to pop that up every time, but I think that means all of the star names are filled out now. This is red. No, it isn't. It's heat shields. Okay. Now we get into the. Is it properly set up? So steel has now arrived. You are making them, but you're not getting enough iron plate. But do you need to? You're getting plenty of steel. Because what I can do, I can put a cheeky little spur on. I put it in the wrong place. Do that, you see, and give it a boost that way. So it doesn't really need to run at rate, but you know, whatever. And now not enough iron plate is probably getting down. Is the problem? Maybe if I just make that steel. So they don't need to run at rate, it's just they are very expensive. So these aren't starving now. In fact, that one's not even using all its stuff. Cool. Yeah, you know, I can see it going either way with the, you know, foundries making foundries thing, because it's like, is it a sensible, you know, kind of cheat for you in order to compensate for, you know, the fact that it's going to be so expensive to build, you know, and to build them on other planets in particular. Is that a reasonable sort of compromise to make it so that, you know, for every foundry you try and craft, you actually get, let's say, 2.5 or 3 or what have you, because you're still going to have to transport 3 foundries, you know, probably in separate rockets. You know, to put them on a space platform or in a space platform, and if you're doing a foundry build, you're going to need quite a lot of them, because there does appear to be this like other mechanic with them that they can only make. Oh, this. I mean, maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but they can only make their products from liquid metal, I think. So when it makes the gears, it's got to make them. Because it's like it skips the iron plate step, basically. But that means for every foundry build that, you know, for every foundry doing iron gear wheels, there's got to be a foundry making liquid metal, because the only planet you've got liquid metal is Volcanus, I think. So that was my sort of interpretation of what's going on. But you never know. Okay, so heat shields. I think these will have some refueling, because it's this part. No, it isn't. It's down here, but it's right next to... Yes, this was the one... Oh, I never fixed the acid thing, did I? So we've probably not got any batteries. Oh, no. Oh, but we're not using the thingies yet. Okay. So this does have refueling. So we can set you on your merry way. How many trains short am I? I've not got enough cargo wagons is the problem. down to 4 again. Because I got 2 ingredients to bring in, don't I? And these almost certainly don't have refueling. Yeah, we are trains short, so I'm just going to stick these on the end here. But we'll have to dash back. Also, let me get some fuel. But what are we trying to do? We're trying to do rocket control, rocket thingies. Oh, it does have fuel. Okay, that's great. And where did I build? Up here. Oh, it's got fuel as well. Okay, so that's all cool. So we need to head back to base to get more trains. And then I think this is done. Let's just check to see if I have loaded in. Oh, we're actually making these now. Cool. Nice. And they're backing up on the belt, so obviously going up fast. And you're just lacking fast inserters. Why would you be lacking fast inserters? No iron plate. It's always the simple things, isn't it? Oh, cracky. It's a crafting machine, not a product you need to make science, as I assume, meaning you don't need to in large quantities over a short time, so expensive is not a big deal in my opinion. Plus it would not make sense in my opinion to apply prod module. I see prod modules as a, hey, let's slow down and take your time to make sure we don't waste material, near that sheets, make sure we use as precise pattern as possible to waste as little material possible to make gears. And that is not a possibility on a foundry. It's not like they can say, hey, let's not put a car engine in this car to save it to the next one. I see what you mean. Yeah, we'll have to see how they've done it basically. But say, I think it's the. I guess it's the sort of challenge in a sense of moving it about. You know, the logistics challenge of it. I think is going to be the real question for me, rather than the, making the machines itself, because it's all very well not giving you bonuses, giving you bonuses. If that's loaded, it needs to be full. Load and unload, cool. And if I put, let's put the thing on. I always forget whether it or lose it when I add the carriages on. Let's do it anyway. Oh, empty. Cool. Cool. Now, if I make that, yeah, 4. If we just put it on 8. Do I need belt and stuff? Oh, I need to put blue inserters in. Oh, hello, X-Fred. Hope you're doing well. Wait, not make sense. So I apply promos to which thing? Not sure if it's coming in from the. Oh, ask your answers your question. So basically, we're debating whether with foundries, because a foundry can build a foundry, so you can obviously make them in normal assembly machines and that sort of thing. I'm guessing as well that can a foundry make an EMP and an EMP make a foundry? Because that might be another compromise to it, that you don't. No, it could. Well, if it could, you'd have to build one on the planet to start with. Like wrapping myself in knots. But basically, when you use a foundry to build a foundry, whether you get a prod bonus. So effectively, because they're really expensive, can you build a foundry using a foundry, get a prod bonus, even just the built-in one, and then every foundry you get a free foundry, basically. So in other words, it halves the cost of them. Are you saying maybe why that's not the case? Foundries are building prod bonus even without any modules at all. Yes, prod bonus and supposedly foundry can make foundry. I didn't realise. Oh wait, are they K2 things? Maybe that's why. No, this is a space age expansion. So when a foundry, because they're adding a new building for every, well, at least one new building for every new planet that they're adding in the space age expansion. So the two revealed planets, Volcanus and Folgora, there's the foundry on Volcanus. It also has the big mining drill, which we haven't got an equivalent. Well, yes, we have, haven't we? We've got the quality recycler. So that's a lock machine to Folgora. So on Folgora, then we've got the electromagnetic, whatever it's called, production building. Everyone just calls it EMP now. But also the actual recycler is locked to Folgora. So the basic point is that you can only build those buildings on those planets. So in other words, if you want to build foundries on Folgora, as in place them down on Folgora, you've got to actually build them on Volcanus and ship them to Folgora. Which is a significant logistical challenge, since a rocket can only carry a relatively small amount of stuff. So you can't just stick 500 foundries onto a single rocket and send them up to the platform, and then you've got them for the rest of the game, sort of thing. You're going to have to be sending them pretty much one at a time, I think, because of how much they are likely to weigh. So if you got the prod bonus, then it would make it all a lot cheaper. Because of course the foundry getting its prod bonus, the foundry can also make the low density structures, and can it? It can't make rocket fuel, can it? But I think it can make. It certainly can make low density structures, which are the most complicated of the three. Yeah, and you get like a million load of, blue circuits on Folgora with the recycling. So yeah, you're also getting stacked bonus that way, effectively, because you're then able to launch rockets cheaper. And it sounds kind of like that's how they're sort of designing the expansion, that it is sort of, oh right, well, we'll give you a new machine, it's hugely productive, but we'll put some restrictions on it to make it a logistical challenge rather than a production challenge necessarily. I seem to have very few. Oh, it's because it's set. Okay, 50 and 150 rather than. I see. In my opinion, this bonus will get disabled once you put in a recipe, that not intermediate recipe. It does not support prod modules. Yeah, I say both would kind of make sense to me. Space expansion. The MP building, you called it building. The MP, you called it building. You mentioned an arm as part of the building, and that's that you think that it might be a no material status. I think it's just part of the building, being eyed over all no material or full output slot. Mentioned in the Friday fact. Yes, yeah. It was more a sort of callback, really, because when I did the video looking at the teases on the Christmas image, where it had the Christmas tree, I pointed out the EMP machine, or what I thought was the EMP machine, because at that stage we hadn't seen it, and I was like, well, that looks a bit like the EMP machine, but it's got this weird sort of arm on it, and the arm isn't shown on the icon image, and it's not even hinted at when you really look at it. So I was like, is it a different building? Is it, something else that's added to that? As we now know it, EMP machine. So I was just trying to explain something that I'd seen before, basically. But it it does seem weird to me that it has this sort of arm thing that extends out, you know, and somehow attaches onto it. I don't really see the purpose of that. You know, because the animation mainly is just the windy thing spinning around in the middle. So, what's this arm for in the animation, basically? Because when it's building, it's just going to be continuously rotating. So why have an arm, you know, that comes out and attaches to it? It just seems like it would never be there. Except on Fulgora, of course, with all those machines that were seemed to be in a, or the whole factory being in a dead state. It was like, well, there's the arm. That solves that mystery. But it still doesn't really answer why it's even got that arm. You know, why does it have an arm that shows you, you know, that shows you nothing, basically? Because initially I thought it might have been added so that it grabbed something out the middle and put, you know, that was like a built-in belt, maybe a belt arm for putting things on belts or something like that, or just it moves things around. But you know, seeing it animated, it doesn't actually do anything. I think that's okay, isn't it? And send you off? Because we know it's going to get fuel. Okay. Now we put that one there. Like that. Cool. Let's put some fuel in. I'll call it a weaver machine since it weaves a wire on the ball of metal. Yeah, that's quite a nice name for it. I like that. Real productivity was the friends we made away. Or something. Indeed. Right, I think this one, if it's retained the thing, is okay as well. Yes, cool. Right, so we might actually start mass producing cargo sections. You're all filling up on a belt. Excellent. What is it waiting for? It's waiting for both of these two. Ah, you're back. I'm guessing that's because it's been sat there for hours while I built this. You are back, my friend. It's also quite close, isn't it? Okay, it appears to be going in the right place. It could grab the ball from centre once it's finished, yeah. It didn't seem to show that on the... when they showed it on Fulgora, though. It was... you know, when an item was output, I think it just kept spinning, basically. But I wondered, you see, my original speculation on that building was that it needed some sort of... like, it had maybe a built-in accumulator. And basically you needed the charge in the machine to build up. And that, therefore, the spinny bit was, you know, it sort of held it. Or it waited. And then it would suddenly spin up when it had that charge. And if you depleted it beyond that charge, that's when it would stop, but it would sort of slow down, basically. And that was, you know, because I originally thought that, and I've had to abandon this idea, but I originally thought, because of the colouring of the machines, that basically the foundry was orange and would give you a massive prod bonus. The EMP machine was blue, so it would give you a speed bonus. And that's what I thought that mechanism was, that it would charge up and then go at hyperspeed, basically. And that whatever the machine is on... do we know what the proper pronunciation is now? Because the revealed name on the music sheet is the proper name. But I don't know what it is. Whether it's glebe or something like that. I don't know if someone's actually decoded it as what it properly is. But whatever it is, you know, it's not Bacchus. But yeah, so I thought that then would be a green machine. Well, that's a green machine shown on the icon. So it was like massively efficient. You know, it had some mode or something or bonus that meant when you made the things, it basically drew no power. So you could, you know, you could thump out circuits or something with basically almost no power draw type of thing. But they've not done that. They've disappointed me. I'm looking forward just to changes the DSC will make to the base game. I really hope that stuff like quality, elevated rails and such will be in base game as well, either by default or as an optional DSCs, meaning that when you buy the Space Age, you would get several DSCs, one of them being the Space Age itself, and the other stuff like quality and elevated rails. Yeah, that's actually, it looks like Gaber, yeah, maybe, the name. That's actually that's how it will work. Basically what they said is that, so elevated rails, quality are part of the expansion. You know, you have to buy the expansion. You can't just buy that, that bit, as it were. It's not a microtransaction type of thing. This seems to be taking a very long time indeed. Is it just because it has, stupidly slow inserters for what's already been stacked up? Okay. As expected. But yes, you get, but they are, so when you do the game, when you load the game up, if you've done mods and stuff, there's like a base game that is technically the mod that is the actual game itself, and there'll be an elevated rails and quality one of those. So if you want to play Space Age without quality and without elevated rails, then you can do. Though how the heck, I was saying this on the Fulgora video, I don't know how the heck you will play Fulgora without elevated rails, because you'd have to wait, you'd have to have every single one of your islands being like completely, or plateaus, being completely self-contained, because bots won't be able to span the bigger distances. You can't build anything on the oil sands without it sinking in, so you can't, do a bot chain, a roboport chain. So how the heck do you play Fulgora without elevated rails? It seems like a challenge mode, basically, to do that. But yes, you'll be able to turn on. So if you want to play just elevated rails on normal Factorio, then you can do that. If you want to play quality, then you can do that. As I understand it, they haven't made, like the new Combinator and stuff like that, they haven't made decisions whether those are in the base game as part of, Factorio 2.0, or whether they are part of the DLC, or indeed, whether you'd switch them on and off, to be honest. So, I think we're there. Let's see it make some. Yes, that's been confirmed. There will be toggleable mods. I think it's quality, expensive mode, elevated rails, and Space Age are mods. Yeah, I think that's my understanding as well. And they're still deciding on some of the bits. Expensive mode still being base game, just toggleable as a mod. Oh, right, okay. So rather than... Oh, no, that is enabled in that way, isn't it, at the moment? I can't honestly remember how you turn that on, basically. I've never actually played it. Well, being confirmed, I have learned my lesson on this. It's confirmed if it's referable in Friday Flags blog. Because I know that people sometimes mix info from Friday Flags blogs and other places, take it for granted, and then are disappointed it's not in. Yeah, the mods have a little bit of a... Because they're particularly active on Discord. They obviously look on Reddit as well. But they've got a bit of a habit of basically trolling and saying and doing things that it's like, well, is that true? Or are you just trolling? So why has that got speed modules in it? If we're never going to make that many. Why have I bothered with speed modules in it? Seems like a waste of time. We've made some though. Look. Look at that. Look at that. Look, made some. Look. We've even got some in a train. Look at that. Wow. Just interested to know. Where have you gone? Will it stack? No. So they are literally a single entity per thing. But you were going in there, aren't you? So let's not divert you too much. Cool. Well, developer said it in Discord to me, so I'm pretty sure. Of course, things can always change. As I say, they've a little bit of a habit of trolling. Sometimes it's pretty obvious, but occasionally, sometimes the joke gets missed. Plus, of course, as you say, they change their mind. It is in development after all. Okay, I think we can say that we have done rocket parts. I mean, I have a lot of stuff stacked up on belts there, don't I? So should I just double it up now? Don't think I can actually support double. Yeah, so I've only got 0.3 machines extra. It's just that it's all been sat there for ages doing nothing. But it'd probably be better to have a machine that was hungry than one that was, empty. If you see what I mean. Machines that are starving. These ones starving rather than these ones sat there unable to use their stuff. So we will over egg that particular pudding. I didn't put the lights on. I was going to put the lights on. Okay. Let's just do that then. We can also check then that I've not messed anything up. All machines are running. Put there as well. You're working. You're set there more as a backup, really. Way more circuits than I need, don't I? Yes, that's because these aren't really doing very much. I know we got one there. Cool. Can I turn that off? Because that's going to get quite annoying. Nine? We've made 9. Look at that. I mean, that's almost half a cargo rocket. That's not bad, actually. The sarcasm gets lost in text, so yeah. I see a joke being lost in as well. There was a... So Govrix kind of did that on this most recent one, because someone asked for the blueprint for that gigantic space platform. And Govrix posted, "We've deleted blueprints from the game." And then basically immediately deleted it, because I think you realised that was just a bit too much, really, as a joke. Okay, let's go and sit and sort of stock up. A little bit of a think where I'm going to make rocket fuel and etc. This is all full, isn't it, I think? Cool. Right. So, what we could do, because we do have a little bit of a crude oil there, so I could potentially give it a little bit of a boost as well. Because the other job I really need to do is this. Turn all this into landfill. But yeah, what I'm thinking is we make this into a double station. It will drop off rocket fuel. which I'll then convert into liquid fuel, like here. It can obviously fuel the trains up, and we stick both liquid fuel into this one as its sort of primary, you know. Because what I'm thinking is that science being kind of the most important thing, I make sure this is always fueled up. Even though I've probably made more science packs than I actually need to finish the game, but that one's always then ready to go. But I can then stick the excess onto another train here and send it wherever I decide to put the rest of the cargo rockets. Because I think I'm going to have to expand. I've got all of this down here, so we could probably use a lot of that. But I want to have a set of cargo rockets that can send... Because I was a bit disappointed with these cannon things. Because they're not... What they can send up is really weird and random for me. You know, I want to be able to send circuits up, basically. And you can't. And I don't know why. Other than just gameplay restriction reasons. So I would rather stick a lot of this onto one or, you know, multiple rockets and just send it up that way. Cool. That's why we have on Twitch. What's that? Oh, Kappa on Twitch. Yeah, I think I'll do that. And then we can also have maybe a station here. Just a little local one. Because I have to unpack them, don't I? Oh, I've not done... Oh, bum. But didn't I work out those as like a weirdly similar recipe to the normal... What do you call them? Satellites. So where are they? They are... I'm being dumb, aren't I? They're somewhere obvious. There. So low density structures, RCUs, solar panels, accumulators, solid rocket fuel, glass and heat shields. The only thing we're lacking is glass. Except we're not, because we've got glass being made there. So... I lost them again. There they are. And I know you can recycle them and stuff like that. I'm going to have to worry about that later. But heat shielding, glass, solid rocket fuel. Heat shielding is the only thing missing. Which is obviously here. I mean, it's not missing in the sense that we're depositing it. If only I had requester chests and bots. Because I'm going to need them, aren't I, for any cargo rocket launcher. Cargo rocket I want to launch. So what I'm wondering, basically, is do I put in a mad train here that comes down, I do a little build here that is basically... Because they don't have satellites, radars on them, do they? No. So 2, 4, 6... What's the... They replace radars with heat shields, then? Because that has 2, 4, 6, 7 ingredients. So we got red circuit. Oh, so they don't have red circuits on those. But they have heat shields. So low density solar accumulators, rocket fuel, glass. Density accumulated. So these have RCUs. That's the other difference. So that has radars and red circuits, whereas this one has RCUs and heat shields. Okay. So it's the same basic stuff is the point. So I could do some spaghetti style jump across there. Because what's the build time on those? Is it like 30 seconds or something? 60-second craft time, okay. Okay. So I think I'd do a build here and just do a mad train out that comes out the top. That I can then drop off here. Because I could stick in another double stop here. And it drops off the parts. And I'm just literally thinking a 111 train that sticks them on. Okay, got a plan. Oh, cracky. Even though there are stuff that I have wished for ages being added to the game, there's still stuff I wish were added to the game, but I don't think it will get added on. For example, being able to literally draw on the map, or be able to see other people's cursors or something, because sometimes you want to point stuff out for someone and have literally no way of doing so besides using a ping location. Yeah, I don't know about seeing cursors. That might be a bit like a recipe for trolling, if I'm honest, but yeah, being able to draw on the map would be quite cool. I guess with the new tagging, there's also the pins are exclusive to you, aren't they? So you keep a load of pins, but with tagging, we're now going to be able to move them. So if you want to say, there's a thing here, and keep it there for someone to see, not just a ping and it's gone. You'll be able to put a tag on and move it. So if you're like, right, well, we decided we're going to, somebody's logging in a bit later and saying, right, well, we've decided we're moving signs from there and we want it over here instead. We'll be able to drag the cursor or pick it up and move it, which was always a bizarre thing. I didn't understand why they didn't put in the flipping game in the first place. But yeah, I mean, certainly being able to draw on the map would be interesting. You can in a sense draw with, stone bricks and stuff. So you can draw that. But yeah, again, I'm not sure that isn't a little bit of a recipe for a bit of a troll. Because I could well imagine a very large number of gentlemen's vegetables being drawn on the map. Feels like something a mod could do. Seeing this, I'm just so tempted to play some Factorio myself, but I know it'll be. But I know it will be for too long since I have not been able to play some serious game of Factorio for several years. It's even worse by seeing stuff that will be added to Factorio 2, and me not being able to play with it just yet. Why can't you play? Is that like a technical restriction or? The mod for WinWorld that allows 2 or more people to play on the same map. You can see the other person's cursor as a ghosted see-through coloured cursor with a name. Something like that would be great, in my opinion. This would be interesting to see, and I don't know that it sounds like something a mod could possibly do, but it would require netcode, wouldn't it? You'd need to be able to send it. I guess if you were on LAN, it would be different, but you'd need to be able to send it across the internet, basically. So that might be a bit beyond a mod. I certainly think it could do with some. Well, it's something I haven't thought about actually. If we're doing multiplayer on multiple planets, I guess it's the same as this. I don't know what problems people are having with it there, but you know, if I'm, it could be interesting because although the game sends state changes, doesn't it? I'm just thinking. So my game has all this map loaded up basically in it, and so if someone else is playing on a different planet, it's potentially going to have to send quite a lot of data over the, you know, over your internet basically, because it's having to update a completely separate map. But if it's just doing changes, it might not be as bad. That is interesting. I hadn't really thought about that. How multiplayer is going to work. It's literally a XY position being sent. There are literally loads of a ton of data being sent while the games are syncing. XY coordinates and nothing in my opinion. Yeah, I meant more from a a mod doing it point of view. I say I don't really understand. I don't know because I'm not a modder. What it would actually send across, and whether you could add it, you know, into the netcode. I guess you must be able to, because I sort of always assumed that the game kind of worked all that stuff out for you in a sense, that you know you didn't really have to, as a modder, worry about multiplayer. I don't know. Say, something I hadn't really considered at all, to be honest with you. Right, so now signals indeed, but which one am I doing where? Because this is, yeah, I guess if I make the solid fuel and that here, this can be the Dewberry one. It's not great, is it, though, crossing them over? But then, how frequently is it gonna travel up here? Yeah, we'll make this one the Statellite cargo pod one, which is obviously I'm going to have to put it on along a belt. Obviously I'll get bots at some point. And then this will be, so this will need to be cargo sections. I'm just going to give it a non-name, as it were. For now, that one. Oops. It's interesting, I've got into the kind of instinctual habit of hitting E to close everything. Right, so that'll be that one. So this is then going to be... they're in this, aren't they? Those guys. And then, even though it's backwards for where the... actually, I can keep that. Thing is, put that station in there. So this then... yeah, we'll do a separate train, I think. But that would be... the solid fuel, I guess. And this would be the liquid fuel. Do it again. Maybe. We'll see. The mod mentioned is for RimWorld, not Factorio, and they are playing on a limited map, so yeah. I'm not a modded person, so I know pretty much nothing about it. But if I'm not wrong, when modding, you are basically calling for functions made by devs. Make a mod that will show other person's cursor in game. Would not be possible in that case, but then again, not a modder. I say I don't know enough about it at all. It does feel like it would be a thing that would be doable, but I don't know part of the problem is I've not done a lot of multiplayer, if I'm totally honest. I do have a game I play with, a friend I play with, but you know that's kind of the only Factorio. The game's too nerdy for my friends who play games. It's too and too complicated, they say, but they don't. They seem to have deaf ears when I explain it's not all that complicated. But yeah, so as a friend who I do play with, and we do have a lot of connection issues. So that's why I wonder about how much. Oh, didn't mean to do that. How much it's actually sending, data-wise, you know. So if I flip that over, pop that there, get rid of these ones. Cool. Now, actual trains-wise, because this is sufficiently long. Oh, I was debating this, wasn't I? This needs to be a proper T-junction now. Don't forget all the signals, I think it's fine. Let's have a look. But yeah, it doesn't sound... I mean, it's certainly not a huge volume of data to send necessarily. Doing exactly the same thing. But I say it would be whether you've got access to it would be my I don't know question, basically. I suspect you would, and that it would all be fine. But I say I just don't know. I really need a stacker on this, I think, don't I? Because there's a... Well, do I? I suppose it depends how many trains I would actually be sending. It's not going to be that many. I don't think. Anyway, point is, we need a proper signal here. Oops. Proper signal there. And then this would be that one. You're fine that way. Bosh bosh. Thought it was a bit slow. When I'm playing multiplayer, I'm playing just one person. But then again, I've not been able to play serious games for ages. Thousands of hours. I'm just way too much toxic for it. But seriously, I guess I'm just burned out on Factorio. Oh, that's a shame. I assume you're hoping the space age will kind of, you know, get you back into it, sort of thing. Yeah, I think that sort of makes sort of sense, sort of ish, maybe, possibly. So if this is going to be the things, I'm going to set this up. And test whether the other one will come over. So we want unloads. Do I want... Because since they only unload one, do I want big volume unload? And just limit the chests a couple sort of thing. I think 4 might make the math a little bit easier. But I put it on the wrong one, obviously, because I'm an idiot. So, I mean, if I did it that would be a train's worth. Do I want to deposit a train's worth of cargo things here? Because I already said... Excuse me. It said that... So each one is 5. And we need 100 to launch a rocket. And I'm sticking them on belts. So it's got to be a staggering amount of material resources over here. Good lord. I need to invest in light meteor defense, don't I? Because I have a staggering amount of material trapped in this area, and a couple of meteor strikes are gonna be very expensive. Anyway, what was I saying? So, yeah, 5 in a thing would be 20. So if we are saying 100, and each one holds is a stack of 5, so we need 20 to make a rocket, basically. So 20 is kind of where I think I need to be dropping them off. But so that it doesn't sit here for like a million years, unloading each time. If I'm dividing it by... I don't need this many chests at all, do I really? Let's just get rid of this. Way overkill for one. Since I'm only putting one rocket here, it'll be more in other places. I think we just go with EL1. We've got to do 20, and we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. So we want 2.5 slots available per thing. So let's do 3. So effectively, there will be a rocket's worth of stuff sat here. Okay. Unlike a million sat on the belts. Exactly, I just hope Space Age will change enough for me to enjoy the game once again. Last time I've been able to enjoy the game was thanks to Factorio, be it KL or K2, which I have been fortunate enough to have beta access and was able to break stuff left and right. I really enjoyed that. Sorry, but not even K2 gives the kicks anymore. Oh, it's a shame. So have you played like Bobs and Angels and all those other, mods? I assume you have. Too bad Factorio and Inva left the K2 scene. Don't see them posting on K2 Discord. I think I saw Crash Store from time to time, like once every 3 or 6 months. But Inva, I don't think I have seen him for ages. Although they're the devs, basically. I don't really know a great deal about Factorio 2, to be honest with you. So that was where I was originally going to build it, in theory. I'll have to rethink that. I'm really going to fill a thing with them, am I? It really is 100, isn't it? Yeah. Crikey. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Except, why have I done it like that? Let's do it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that is a rocket's worth of things, which is utter madness. But we like a bit of utter madness. Let's just put a load of them on. These are my unpacking boys. Can I move that over? So they need... let's just do it with a fast one as well. Let's make it a bit more tidy. Give you your own power source. Come on. There you go. Problem with Angels, I have my opinions that stops me from enjoying it. And space exploration is way too complex for my liking. The reason for why K2 hit so good is because it does not overcomplicate stuff. Yeah, I would say So, I think I said this before, but of the mods, I'm really enjoying this because of what it kind of adds to it, or what it's more focused on is like the design and stuff like that, which I didn't really appreciate. I just thought it was the mod where you had to make a million billion of every. I mean, you do, but I didn't pick them up. It got distracted on the left and there, idiot. But yeah, the sort of focus on the designing side of it, I'm really enjoying. But when it gets to the... Oh, I didn't rename it, did I? When it gets to the... Right, well, we're on 20 planets and, you know, we've got to make everything everywhere and all this sort of stuff, I don't know. Maybe it'll be too much for me. And especially since the science recipes all seem to be, you know, now make exactly the same thing, but with a slightly different colour. So yeah, we'll have to see. Do I want it to be empty though? I don't, do I? I really want to be in activity. Yeah. It's nearly full, crikey. Are we still running? We're still running. Blimey. I'm sure it'll fall over in some way eventually. Ah. Oh, there's that as well. We could certainly get rid of these guys. But yes, I really enjoyed Factorio too. I thought it was just the right level of changes and slight tweaks and slightly new mechanics, but still sort of familiar enough. Bob's I actually found a bit pointless because it does exactly what I've always feared, you know, I would dislike in overhaul mods, where it just keeps adds more materials, and all you do is make new machines that make, you know, things at greater productivity and allows you to smelt more things that you then turn into more machines that allow you to make. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, and obviously that's what Factorio is, but it just turns it from, you know, 3 levels assemblers into whatever it is, 6 levels assemblers, whatever, and you're just sticking in more and more things. And occasionally they unlock a new material, but in general, it's just, you know, a way of making more machines that make more machines that make more machines. And that's what I always sort of, whenever I was thinking about the overhaul mods, is exactly the thing that was like, well, this isn't going to be for me if it's like that. So yeah, I didn't actually really enjoy that playthrough I did. I mean, I was rushing it. I've been kind of rushing all the Bobs, both of the Bobs and Angels, because this was the one I really wanted to give a go. I have to rearrange all of that, aren't I? This is here more like as an emergency power connector, in case I do something stupid like drive through a train again. Drive through a power pole. Which I'm very good at that. All of our mods that are out there, in my opinion, go just way too much on the HC side of Factorio. I just don't enjoy having to manage 20 different metals and 50 different liquids. What do you mean by HC? Same question here, actually. I'm not sure what HC means. HC. By that I mean exactly what I wrote in last message, having to manage 20 different metals. And that's it, because I like K2 because it added in just a few resources, like that made oil finite and extended late game a bit, but compared to other mods it was light pass over vanilla, and I like that. I don't like the approach of adding stuff just for sake of adding stuff, and even into K2, even though K2 is guilty of it as well, it's not in such scale like other mods in my opinion. I would echo exactly that same sentiment essentially. Whoops. you know, added just enough to make it interesting and kind of focused a bit more on mechanics. Also, oops, the thing I really liked is it did the whole, you know, now you've launched why have I put the thing there? Because that could go further down, couldn't it? Now you've done the thing. I'm not going to say because I guess it's a spoiler in a sense, but you know, there's an end to Factorio 2, which is one of my big. Oh, it's too far down now. Big concerns for Space Age, basically, of like, well, is there going to be a point, basically, to what we're doing? Honestly, I hope I hope there's a way of me turning that off, because that is going to get very tedious. And eventually, I'm going to have launched all the rockets I can launch, I guess, but can I not make it one further down? But yes, as I say, I mean, that's what I found with Ops. Angels I like more, because it was more focused on new mechanics. So all of the building, and this is just straight Angels, it's not a combo of them. All of the things that you build, obviously with the exception of the new machines, but you know, to make a green circuit in Angels is just exactly the same recipe. To make a red circuit is exactly the same recipe. To make a blue circuit is exactly the same recipe. To make an assembler is exactly the same recipe. And it's all identical, apart obviously from it does add in new machines. But the mechanisms, it's more focused on, right, well, this is how you actually need to do this. Is like different, basically. So it wasn't so much, you know, there's liquid metals in it, and you have to process liquid metals. So it's more like mechanical changes rather than, you know. So in a sense, the foundry that we got now with its liquid metal processing, that's in Angels essentially. It does have. I had mixed reactions. It's why I'm slightly nervous about the whole Bacchus planet, because it did add in. So because it's a set of mods, in fact, and one of them is the bio, and that added in a whole load of like bioprocessing and growing wood and all those sorts of things that I've just found in the other mods to be like staggeringly annoying. I just don't really get on with that sort of thing. And it also did the thing of lots and lots of alternate recipes for oil stuff, which I don't know. I struggle with that as well, which I know the Factorio devs won't add, so it's not something I'm worried about. But the whole thing of, right, well, you can now make plastic, but you've got to, you know, take the original fluid that you were making plastic from, you know, almost like rejig the molecules, which is how real chemistry works. But you know, rejig the molecules, and then you can turn it into plastic, and you get 3 times as much plastic. But you've got to go through 15 different machines, and it's not bad in a sense. You know, it's not a sort of disastrous thing, but it was a bit sort of like, well, a bit too much, basically. So these only stack to 1, I think, don't they? So if we literally have 2, that's 4 rockets. And I'm also then going to stick them on a belt. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts doing this. So let's do it anyway. Then again, I have not played the other mods because my point of view on them, so who am I to judge? In other words, I would much rather see an overhaul mod that adds in just a few resources and makes recipes that are interlocked to one another, where every item has multiple uses and it makes sense, but there is harder to do, I guess. So I would say Angels is more like that. Bob's not so much. And I say just Angels, but Angels also does things that I wouldn't. If I was playing it again, I would pick out like the metallurgy and things like that, because they were interesting and fun. I'd maybe do the oil processing, but I wouldn't do the bio again. That was just... I mean, I didn't really even get anywhere in it because it was just too annoying and stupid. So I wouldn't do that one again. I really don't. I mean, there's going to be an insane number of these rocket things on this, considering it needs one, and that I get to recycle them. This is why I need bots. The thing I'm wondering about here as well is by doing that, have I locked off being able to fill this rocket up? Because they put that there. You know, the block off thing. Like right across these. So I suspect you can only basically fill... You can't, like, limit... Although you can do it because it's a chest in the game. I don't actually think I can limit it in the way that I've done. Now, it's not a problem because I can just filter more... You know, I can just add more... Oops, that was dumb. More red science on and what have you. But I say it looks like I can't actually limit the size of a cargo rocket because then you can't put cargo parts in it. Okay, so this train is still not here. Why is that? It's nearly full. It's got 147 of them in. Good lord. Oops, if you press the right button. Oh. Is that another bot dying? It is. Will you stop killing my bots? It's the, I've said this before in case anyone didn't see it yesterday. What's happening is that the pollution, because this is where my oil processing is, so it's super polluting. The pollution is just sneaking onto this edge here, and we've got some proper biter nests from when the thing was originally, you know, from the beginning. And there'll be more in here. These are, in fact, let's see how many we've got kind of hidden in here. Am I in the right place? Well, there's not too many, actually. Because it's not being continuously monitored, necessarily, by a satellite. Oh, yeah, there's not too many extra ones. But basically, this area is getting hit with pollution. They're all sucking it up and obviously then pathing round, in fact, to here. There you go, some more of them coming. And they're hitting this corner in such a way that it's difficult to do. And I've accidentally connected the robo network to the main network. So it's assigning repair bots from, like, over here. Because, you know, it's dumb. And they're going to fix it, but not yet. So in other words, these will sit here damaged, and then another attack will come in and, you know, take it out. And then a repair, an actual thing will have to come in. But I can't hit it. I've got artillery, but it's like outside my artillery range. So I can hit it as far as there, and then there. So all of this bit has no artillery coverage, so I can't just get rid of them. Which is why we're getting all those alerts. Okay, enough blathering. Let's see about building these cargo bots. This is exactly why I like K2 iron and copper processing. It's possible to smelt iron copper, but in a later game you'll be able to pre-process it, refine it, and you would get bonus productivity at cost power, space, and your time spent designing. The cost of power, space, and your time spent designing the refinery, but it was just one more step, not 15. You can limit silo using signals. Okay, I'll have to give that a go then. You can always test it if it has a certain number of slots full and launch it in that case. I'll ask you to beat me to it. Yeah. Do I want to turn that into a proper junction? Probably not. Come on. Why is that not? Well, let's do the build first. I guess. Because it's obviously going to have to be a spaghetti monstrosity. So if we imagine... Well, actually, I say that. I need to know where the curve is, really, don't I? Oh, come on. Oh. Look, Ralph Banner, can we just agree I don't like you and I can just get on with it then? Right. So actually it's connecting there. No. Okay. Okay. Right. No. Yeah. So, if our pickup station is here somewhere, let's put... That's not going to work though, is it? Because unless I literally do just have one... I guess I could just have one. I mean, I'm going to fill it with an insane number of these things. Is there going to be any point buffering them? So it just seems utter madness sort of building these and sticking them in drains and stuff, when really I want to be botting them about, but I don't have bots. You know, login network bots. Right, let's just put one on then. And then we'll give it a fast one. And let's give it a row sort of thing. Because if it's emptied that much out, then I've got serious problems. With scale. Uh. 2, 4, 6, 7 ingredients. What order are they going to be in? That's the question. I mean, this takes 30 seconds, doesn't it? But doesn't it need enormous amounts of stuff? It does. Okay. Let's just use a thingy. Okay. Wowza. Glass solar panels accumulators are the 50s. Right. So we know we've already got these sat on about here. So we'll just spaghetti these over. Stick them in the bottom here. Yep. Okay. Heat shields. Don't need red circuits though, do I? No. Do I need anything else that I'm putting on over here? Because obviously I got this here, so I could hive them off there, or we could just take them off there. Well, not trouble, but I'm not actually making any more construction bots because there's no lube at the main base. Not the first time that's been said. Where do I want to take them off? Because this is like this to avoid beacons, basically. So there's then room for beacons. So let's take it off here. Because we got that line there, which has already gone on. Okay. And then we can have it go on that side. Oops. Like so. Profit. I'm try SE without K2. I assume we gave that a go because, you know, being a fan of K2, I did in. One of the things I quite liked about K2 is it basically just breaks the game at the end and it lets you do that matter thing. And you can convert literally anything into matter. So you can literally just, I think, can you do water? I can't remember if you can do water, but wood and stuff, you just turn it into matter. And then you just make infinite amounts of anything without having to go out and make mining outposts. And it just seemed to be, obviously it's massively like broken, you know, it's just not balanced in any way, but I just like the fact that it let you do that, basically. Because at that sort of stage, it's like, well, you know, you already reached the OP, you know, combat side of things, so it's like you might as well just be given something that, you know, breaks the game, basically. So, does this need rocket fuel as well? It doesn't need rocket fuel. So it needs low density structures, RCUs, rocket. No, it does need rocket fuel. So I can just literally split this, can't I? Okay. We also need glass. Not necessarily a fan of going in front. Because, well, I guess I could add on. We know it overproduces this, but if I just sort of pop on a little bit extra. And then we need 2 of these. Oh. So we can then hive off some glass. Glassy ass. Maybe pop it in there as well. Up there. Give it that. And then this I can just split off. Oh, it's red, isn't it? Of course it is. So I'm just thinking, could I... Is that too far? Too far for there. Too far for there as well. Okay. That's annoying. One time. That's not right then, is it? Right, fine. I wonder if I should... Fiddly bop. Oh, we must be missing one thing. And what one thing are we missing? We are missing RCUs. let's... do M to water, but not other way around. There you go. But yeah, it's bonkers. And fun fact, you can use productivity to spawn matter containers out of thin air, but don't tell that to Rhaegar. Okay. Yeah, let's do something a bit mad. Because it needs a lot of these, so... Because I'm just wondering, actually... Oh, come on. Let's do a second line. No, let's not do a second line. Let's do a fast belt. Oh my god, that's a lot of RCS. Oh, they're full on, yeah. Okay. It's kind of amazing how much even I, someone who kind of thinks of themselves as a belt and train type player, I'm actually fairly reliant on bots, because a lot of this stuff I would just, I'd have the trains go over, but I wouldn't be sticking this stuff on belts and sending it like this, because there's just so much resource tracked on these belts. It's just bonkers. Right, so the other thing I need to do is fuel this train. And of course we have super duper amounts of rocket fuel here. So how about we do something like that? We pop in a cheeky inserter. Is it going to be the fastest train in the West, this one? In fact, why am I trying to put in those? Let's get them. Oops. Yeah, this is the only one with... Oh, don't actually want to load this one, do I? Cool. Oh, it's 5 to 6. Okay. It is 5 to 6. Crikey. So each one's an entire rocket launch, so I'm not actually, fussed about them having later speed modules in and stuff. Don't know why I'm running over. Okay, so let's get you ready with some solid rocket fuel. So you want to go there to Bird Lane. Okay, I didn't rename either of these, do I? Let's do that then. We're getting close, I can feel it. Getting close. Where's it gone? There. No. There. Okay. So let's go. Activity. Unfold. And off we go. The world's shortest, fastest train ride. But yeah, they'll be going to other places. Or it'll be going to other places, because I'm not doing all the cargo rockets here. Because then I'd have to work out how to unload stuff. Without bots. It's got 2 on. I'm guessing it will head off in a second, because... Wait. Oh no, it needs to fill up first, doesn't it? Oh my god, it's going to be here ages. Don't suppose that train's done a journey at all, has it? Must have done. I wonder if I maybe make this inactivity. So it's just that it'll blast back and forth then for no real reason. What I need, the stations need smarts on them basically, because at the moment it's just going to keep going back and forth for no real reason. Let's leave that to go then. I have 500,000 steel tied in my logistics system, but none in my train network. Yeah. We do. I mean, I love buses. It's just a way of playing that I enjoy, sort of thing. But sometimes you do sort of look at a proper, 500 science a minute bus, and you're like, there is so much material stuck on these belts, basically doing nothing a lot of the time. But it's a bit sort of mad, really. So yeah, so it looks like the train has been and gone to do these. It's put a load in. And it's not been able to insert any. Okay. So, what I should be able to do, because these are controlled via circuits, not to insert anything. Obviously this one's still going. Because... Why have you got... Oh, have I messed up? Why are you not getting a signal? 18k, that sounds like an error, doesn't it? Why would there be 18k with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Because 9, okay. Why have you you've done that because of reasons, haven't you? Okay. No, 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 no. Let's get rid of them. Oh, because they need smart controlling as well. Right, stop it. Okay. You see, somebody can't do math, and that's the problem. Okay. So, I think that's okay now, because that's... Well, it's actually built the rocket, okay. Wow. Guess I could speed these as well. So yeah, these should have things on it. I am going to limit it though, just so that you didn't stick them in while I actually build it. I'm just wondering whether I don't need that fourth one there, really, do I? Because, Right, so, yes. We'll just do this, because it is past 6. What am I hooking that up to? So, does it... Oh, it does output What the heck are I, F, and E? Unless that's L, F, and E, is it? L, F, and E. I'll work that later. But it's telling me that there's 100 sections in there, so I can stop these from working. If... I've forgotten where they are again. Those are less than 100? Nope. No. So if that's less than 100, work. No, less than or equal to. No. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? It's clearly time to stop because my brain is stopping working. I can't take them out to test, can I? But it's not kicked in. Do I think we're okay? And it's then got a rocket's worth of stuff in there. Is that what I want, or do I want 2 rockets worth? In for a penny, in for a pound. So that'll be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, yeah. Oh, these boxes and stuff get insane with the numbers. Cool, okay. I don't actually have anywhere for it to go. Oh, crikey, sorry, Andy Angry Pigeon. I've been stuck reading this, but welcome to the stream. I'm afraid I'm... I would technically storage be the job of the logistics department. I'm about to end, I'm afraid. But welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good day. I need it in the train network since that's not how... Since that's how I make heat shielding and some other things. Without those stop, it will continue to fill beyond the filters if inserters are not limited. Never mind, you call that. Cool. Yes, so that was kind of what I was planning to do this weekend, as in get this kind of rocket ready to go. I haven't actually got there because I've still got to do the liquid fuel, but I don't think the liquid fuel is going to be that complicated because we've already got solid fuel being made in sort of like super duper volumes, because I need somewhere to get rid of fuel basically. As you can see, we are jam-packed full of oil at this core mining thing, and I bet it's stacked up again. I have so much coal, but no coal liquefaction, which is what I want basically. Anyway, so yes, I'm sure I will find time this week. So I will probably add on the fuel, so we'll be ready to send our first satellites, first cargo rocket rather. But what we then need to do is actually start working in orbit. So we got this mess. What I might actually do, if I'm honest, because I hand transported a load of science up, effectively. What I might do is literally just go up with the rocket. You know, so it's then a bit of a test, because I know I have to set schedules and all sorts of stuff, but it would also be useful for me to see how it does the cargo parts, basically. Because I know it, like, effectively gives you a bunch of them back. Oh, of course, that's also on the planet. But I don't really know kind of how to do that, and whether I'm going to bother, because I know you have like options of scrapping things or basically sending them back for reuse or recycling. But yeah, this is all stopped because there's no red science up here anymore because it's used it all up, and that's what we're waiting on the flat panels for. But we then have... Ooh, what's that? Beryllium cargo rocket section. Oh, right, so it's a different rocket, is it, for beryllium? Lightweightness for beryllium can be used to make cargo rocket sections with fewer resources. Okay. Lightweightness. Is that not lightness? Yeah, and there's a few techs I really need, basically, because you know, like I need to convert coal into oil and stuff, because you know that's rocket fuel, basically. Um, but we might eventually then actually start doing some of the SpaceX stuff. But we'll see how far I get during the week. Where is it? I think I need precursor text, in fact, yeah. So I need to actually do this production science, which is a proper alien space thing. And it's got precursor text. So yeah, there's a lot before I can get that, and that'll help me out a hell of a lot, really. So, that's it for today. Let's pop my schedule up. Yes, but I'm sorry. Yes, that's it for today and for this week. And we will be back next week, exactly the same, 3 o'clock, British Summer Time, both Saturday and Sunday, playing more SpaceX. So I will continue on during the week. I'm playing this just literally as part of a playthrough. I'm not doing it just on stream. I am playing it properly through myself, not least because I am really enjoying it. So we will pick up next week when hopefully we'll be properly doing proper space science in proper space. Yeah, so that's that. However, the week after that and the week after that, so the following 2 weeks, I will be on holiday and I will be away for the weekends. So there will be no streams for the 2 weeks after. Streams will then continue on after that with the occasional missed, because that's my sister's birthday as well. Forgot about that. Oh, and my cousin's. Yes, but basically the plan is to just keep playing SpaceX both Saturday and Sunday up until I finish it. I get bored, space age launches, I get annoyed, whatever of those comes first. But the plan is just to keep going with SpaceX. I might end up, if I do get a bit, drowned in it, doing like a swap out and just doing another Factorio series, maybe a second mega base. I'd like to do just a send off to version 1 as like a playthrough. But anyway, so that is the plan for the streams. I also linked on here, already done. Yes, I'm afraid so. I only do the 3 hours on a Saturday and Sunday because I don't have. Is that another bot they've killed? Sorry, it's beeping at me. It is. I have to go and sort them out. Yes, so the other thing I usually promote is I have a YouTube channel, which there should be a link to the side of my head. I always forget which side. To the YouTube channel, which is just Trismegistus, my name, alias to Triggles. And on there, the thing I usually promote is that I do a read through and speculation about the Friday facts, where basically I read out, the latest Friday facts and just go off on wild and mad speculations, come up with ideas, try and see if there's any Easter eggs and what those Easter eggs mean and all that sort of stuff. And it's a huge amount of fun to do, and people do seem to enjoy kind of watching the videos. So if that's of any interest to you, then check that out over on that channel. There's a big playlist of everything covering space age. Those will obviously be disrupted as well. So when I take the leave, those will not happen on the Friday, which is when I usually get them done. They'll be later, when I actually have the time. But so yes, basically next week all normal, and then it all gets disrupted for a couple of weeks while I take holiday. So yes, if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.